Welcome back to the bench. Today it is a Temu special, the Happy Run bike. So I was browsing Facebook as one in my age group would do, and I came across this little bike, and it was listed for, I don't know, $230 or something like that. It was cheap enough. I figured it'd be real tiny, right? But it's cheap enough that's like, this could be something fun, something for parts at least. But $230 is kind of that range level where, yeah, sure, I'll bite. I'll check it out. So I got one, and we put it together, and it's very tiny. And I do have two relatively small children, 11 years old and 8 years old. And it is just the right size for them, and they have been riding it around the neighborhood almost non-stop since we got it. Now, it was listed as a 20-mile-an-hour bike, and I think pushing 20 kilometers an hour may be more along what it's doing. Somewhere around 10 miles an hour, 12 miles an hour, something like that. It's not really that fast, and it really doesn't have much power. It barely pulls me along, but once it's up to speed, it's pretty good. And because these e-bikes are always amp limited, the efficiency of your motor is really what determines how much torque you're going to get out of it. So this probably is like a 10 amp or 15 amp limit coming off the battery side. And with my weight, when it starts to get going, it really doesn't have a lot, because your efficiency of an electric motor running at 0 RPM is 0. And as the RPMs go up and you get some back EMF on the motor, the efficiency increases, and you get around 6 miles an hour. There's not much pull, but it starts to pull a little better. So you can kind of keep speed. Let's like say you're going up a hill. If you start at the bottom of the hill with no speed on this guy, with my weight, it's not going anywhere. But if you start going full blast up the hill, it will stay going, depending on how steep the hill is. So it's got 24-volt battery, maybe 6 amp hour, maybe something like 4. It was listed as a 10-mile-an-hour range, which, let's be honest, it's on Temu, it's probably a 6-mile range. But for going around the neighborhood and having a relatively fast recharge, the kids were fighting over the one that we have. So I had to get a second one. This is actually the second one, which brings me to my point of Temu. The first one was listed at $230. The second one was $245. I just got back on the app, and now they're $265. I would almost guarantee that if I delete the app, download it again, and use a different email to sign up for it, that it would go back to $230 a piece. They're trying to find, how much will he pay for more and more of them? If I'd bought them all at once, if I'd bought multiple ones at once, I would have saved money. But, it was a $230 gamble. This thing could have been really bad, but let's actually talk about the quality. So it's got a normal sealed hub motor. I'll say that the hub motor is very tiny. Our stator width is like that, but it's only like a 300 watt machine. It's got a lot of Chinese written stuff on here. It has some English letters, Happy Run, I guess. The welds on the frame are actually really good, surprisingly really good. It uses 1/8" clamp-on style, so it's got your whatever nutsert or whatever they're called that pulls everything together from the top to the bottom, and then you've got your 1/8" clamp on. I'm pretty sure that's 1/8". It might be 1 inch, but no, it looks like 1/8", like a normal mountain bike would have, which means I could switch out the stem and then put some different handlebars and all that on there. There's no need to do that, but just saying, we could. It's got these fake triple clamps on there, these fake double crown. This top actually isn't connected, it's just kind of sitting there. It's basically a spacer on top, and it keeps a little wobble out of it, I suppose, but it's mostly just for show. There is no suspension on the front. There is suspension on the back, not much, but it pivots, and it also squeaks a lot, which this one hasn't been ridden much yet, but the other one that my kids have put on, gosh, probably 10 hours of riding time at least between the two of them, maybe more. It's gotten kind of squeaky, and I'm sure it looks like a fancy shock, but it's just a spring with a piece of plastic shrouding it. We need to figure out how to make it not squeak. Although it's kind of nice hearing my kids riding up and down the street, and I know where they are, and somebody, I don't know, 6 of one, half a dozen the other there. We got 3 modes. We've got super slow, ultra slow and slow, pretty much. But the M button, it's really gentle on the acceleration. Like I said, like 300 watts, enough to where I threw my 8-year-old on there and she was just like, yeah, cool, this is great. Very controllable. They had some other kids in the neighborhood hop on. Nobody got hurt. It's a kid's bike. This is a kid. I mean, you can see how tiny it is. It even has storage down here for, I don't know, like one washcloth or something. There's not much that'll fit, but, oh, it was already on. Sorry. It's got a headlight. It has a brake lamp, which does it trigger? Oh, maybe you can or cannot see. The brake lamp actually triggers, and there is a running light when you turn on the headlights, which is kind of cool. The headlights are really strong. Now, the other one, the headlight was kind of facing up. I had to adjust it down because it was blinding everybody. It's got a really good throw, and it's got a little horn. As you can imagine, in the neighborhood with kids riding around, there's a lot of this. There are also, let's see, last weekend there was probably 6 different kids running around with their various electric scooters and this thing. And like everybody in this neighborhood seems to have electric devices. And it's just a cacophony, is that how you say it? A cacophony of this, with all the kids just laying on the horns, which, yeah, you know, it might be a little annoying after a while, but you hear where they are. It's fine. There are kids playing in the neighborhood, and if this is the worst that I have to deal with, then so be it. They're having a lot of fun. So, long story short, ended up buying another one. The quality on this for the cost is actually better than what I thought. The seat's not the most comfortable, honestly. It's kind of at an angle, like a slope forwards angle, so it pushes you forwards. I wish it was flat for me, but the kids, they don't seem to mind. You know, maybe I could unwrap this and shave the foam down on the back a little bit, or add some more padding to the front and rewrap it. I'm probably not going to do it. I'll wait until the kids complain about it. There's also a pool that is pretty close to our house, and the kids want to be able to hop on this and drive down to the pool. So that's probably what we're going to end up using these for, is going to the pool. It's not far. It's, you know, like a half-a-mile walk or something like that. But this makes it to where they're probably going to want to go to the pool more, and I'm okay with that. And maybe they can, like, stuff the smallest towel ever into here. You know, I guess if you, like, shoved it through here, we could get a frame bag. I don't know. Honestly, for the money, pretty fun. And now that we have two, both kids can ride around. I guess I'll have to hop on one of my electric bikes and show them what's up. Mine, on the other hand, are modded. Y'all probably saw the DYU videos. It's fast. It does wheelies. It is not something I can hand off to a kid in the neighborhood, nor my children. They will crash and burn on it. It will throw them off the back if they're not careful. It'll throw a full-size dude off the back, or gal. So mine's not one for letting other people tootle around the neighborhood, but this, on the other hand, is perfect. So I got two of them, and we'll see long-term how they last. We got the little charge port right in here somewhere. Yep, there we go. A little charge port, just a little charger. It's not super powerful. I think it's maybe 2 amps or 3 amps or something like that. It takes a little bit of time, maybe a few hours to charge, and it's fine. A little drum brake on the back even. It's not a disc brake, it's a drum brake, but it works. It's light, it's slow, it's fine. And if, you know, worst came to worst, I could always weld on a disc brake somewhere. Maybe, yeah, no, there's nothing on the front. Plastic molded wheel, actually. Is that plastic on the rear? Oh, wow, the rim is actually plastic. So is the side cover plastic? It is. This entire hub is plastic. Wow, is it? No, it can't be. No way. That is plastic. Wow. It's a plastic molded wheel. What can I cut into? It is, oh, that's plastic. Wow, the entire wheel. So they've got to have some back iron in there. Obviously there's a stator, but that is a fully plastic. The bead set, or the bead, the rim itself is plastic. The side cover over here is plastic. This is plastic. Wow. It didn't give me a weight limit. But I would assume, I mean, I'm not quite 200 pounds. I'm probably like 175, 180 right now. It had no problems with me, and I haven't seen any stress fractures. Since this is black plastic, you would see kind of a white stress fracture going through them if they got stressed out. But they're so tiny, they're beefy. The tires are actually decently wide and thick, so it absorbs a good bit. That's an interesting molded plastic hub motor. I mean, it's cheap. It's cheap, so I guess that's the cheapest that you can make a hub motor. Wow, I'm kind of flabbergasted here. Full plastic, side covers plastic. Yeah, this side is where the shell bolts together and it's plastic. Oh man. Okay, well, we'll be careful with them is what we'll do. But we could probably modify these rims since they're plastic. That'll be for a later date. All right, so there you go. If you got any questions about this, I don't know any answers other than what I've already told you, but feel free to ask away and I'll try to look it up or just give you some updates about how it's doing long term, because yeah, super fun kid's toy. I'm happy with it. So there you go. Temu special that turned out to be decent. As always, thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. It's plastic. It's really plastic. It's plastic. You've made it to the end of the video. Hopefully that means you liked what you saw. If you want to help out the channel, you can like, subscribe, and definitely comment down below. We would like to hear new ideas from you, so be sure you let us know what you'd like to see. There are some other suggestions probably floating by my head right now that you can check out, and otherwise we appreciate your support and your help growing the channel.